Good afternoon and welcome to homework helper number 1.6. Today I'm going to be guiding us through the homework that you guys have assigned for today. This first section here, it asks us to find the missing terms and it gives us a big hint here by telling it's arithmetic. So that means we're going to be plussing or minusing. So we got to find each term in each arithmetic sequence and state the common difference. To do this, it's pretty easy because we're told it's arithmetic, so we can just look at any two terms and see what the difference is. So to find the difference between these two terms, all I have to do is 11 minus 5, and I will see that the difference is 6, my common difference is 6, and so I can know that 11 plus 6 is 17, plus 6 is 23, whew, we did it right, plus 6 is 29, and then plus another 6 is 35, and I'm done. Now, it does get a little bit trickier when we look at, say, a problem like number 5. Because what happens with number 5 is we don't have two consecutive terms. In fact, what we have is we have 3 blanks in between. So I have to figure out how I do this. And so to do this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you guys a little cheat sheet here. Here's how we figure this out, right? Because I know that 5 plus my common difference would get me here. And then plus my common difference one more time would get me here. And then plus my common difference one more time would get me here, and then I got to plus it yet one more time to get to 25. So essentially what I've done is I've created an equation. 5 plus common difference plus common difference plus common difference plus common difference equals 25, or I can simplify this as 5 plus 1, 2, 3, 4 times my common difference equals 25. And from here it's just algebra. I'll subtract 5 from both sides. 4 common differences is equal to 20. If I divide by 4, I see that my common difference equals 5. And in fact, I can prove that because this would be 10, 15, 20, 25. So to do problems like this where we're missing multiple steps, you just need to create an equation like that. And you can even see, look at the arrows I did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 25, 25. So that's how we do these. Okay. For the set, we're pretty much doing the exact same thing, except it's giving it to us in function notation. Okay, so this time we're trying to look at this, and then what we're going to do is create a recursive function from it. So and it tells us again that it's arithmetic, so I know I'm going to be adding or subtracting each time. So I know that f of 3 is 5 and f of 4 is 8. So that means step 3, I'm at 5, and step 4, I'm at 8. So if I were to imagine a table, 3 would be 5, 4 would be 8. And when I look at this, knowing that it's arithmetic and I'm adding some number, I just have to figure out what number I'm adding. And I can see that it's 3. And if you can't see that it's 3, you just take the higher number, in this case 8, subtract the previous number, 5, 3, that will be your common difference. So now that I know that it's 3, I know to get to F5, all I have to do is add 3 again, giving me 11. And then to get to F6, all I have to do is add 3 again, giving me 14. And so I know my recursive function is just f of x equals the previous step, otherwise known as f of x minus 1, plus my common difference, which in this case I have figured out is 3. And I'm done. This is always the same for every recursive function that's arithmetic. The only thing that changes is this, which is going to be our common difference. Okay, so that's another step on doing that. Let's go ahead and turn the page. This time it asks us to do it with geometric. And so what we know about geometric is that we're going to be multiplying or dividing by some number. So when I look at 5 and 10, I got to figure out what do I multiply 5 by to equal 10. So it's 5 times my common ratio is going to equal 10, divide by 5, my common ratio is 2. So I know that each step I'm multiplying by 2. So 20 times 2, or no, I already skipped ahead there. 10 times 2 is 20, and then 20 times 2 is going to be 40. And then for my recursive function, it's very similar to the arithmetic. F of x is going to equal f of x minus 1. but this time I'm multiplying or dividing. In this case, I'm multiplying by 2. And that's it. And again, just like before, for a recursive function, this is always the same. But for geometric, instead of adding our common difference, we're going to multiply our common ratio. So I represent that by CR. Finally, yep. For this section here, we are doing function notation again, where all that we're doing is we're looking through all of these steps and we're substituting in whatever our n is for our function. So for 13, I'm going to start by finding f of 5. And so f of 5 is going to equal 2 to the 5th, because here 5 is where n is. So that means where n is here, I have to put in a 5. 2 to the 5th power is quite a large number. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. This is 4. This is 4. That's still 2, so those will be 8. 8 times 4 is 16, 32. All right, I figured it out. But I also have to do f of 0. So f of 0 equals 2 to the 0 power. And by rule, anything to the 0 power is just going to equal 1. So that's it. That's all you got to do. Anything to the 0 power. Because it's kind of one of those weird math concepts. If you multiply something by itself never, what do you have? And your heart might want to say 0, but it's not going to be 0. In this case, it's just going to be 1. All right, so that's your homework helper for today. Hope that gets you through, and I will see you tomorrow.